that's surprise number one.
Yeah, at one time she had the mother lode.
$30 million worth of silver in 5 years.
That's right, son, tonight. Then they couldn't squeeze another dime out of her.
Maybe they didn't dig deep enough.
Or squeeze hard enough.
You figure on doing a little more squeezing, Mr. Blaine?
We sent an expert out here to run some tests. He says there's still plenty of silver in that mine if you know how to extract it.
There are new mining techniques now, Mr. Lane. New geological surveys of this area. I know. I voted funds for them when I was a member of the United States Senate.
That right.
You got any objections?
No, I don't have any. Indians might have some.
Who worries about Indians?
Anybody with any sense.
The Army's here to handle them.
Colonel Crook is highly thought of in Washington. He's supposed to have made this frontier secure.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like trying to patch up a leaky water trough. You plug up one end, the other end busts open. You open up surprise number one again, and the Apaches are liable to forget they ever signed a peace treaty.
We don't intend to infringe on their interests in any way.
How far is the town of Surprise from here?
About 2 miles west. I'll take you there.
Many's a big dry I've cured in that thirst parlor, Hondo.
Ah, well, this is it, Senator.
Surprise, eh? Well, it certainly is a surprise. Something of a shock, too.
Now, this whole ghost town is right in the middle of Apache hunting ground. Game that was driven out during the boom is just starting to come back. Apache's got a big interest in eating, same as anybody else does.
Colonel Crook assigned you and Mr. Baker to guide us, not advise us, Mr. Lane. Thank you anyway. Give the gentlemen a little something for their trouble, will you, Chad?
Split that between you, Indian lovers.
Pick it up and hand it over. Pick it up and hand it over.
Well, no, wait a minute. I'll pick it up. And hand you this.
Yeah.
Shut up, Sam, and go get the horse.
Well?
Thank you.
I apologize for this incident, Mr. Lane.
That's all right. It's not your fault, Senator.
You know, I've done a little street fighting myself in my time. I admire a man who handles himself the way you do.
Thank you.
Thanks for your services, men.
Oh, our pleasure, Senator.
Why don't you join us for a drink?
Yes, wash away that little unpleasantness.
Well, that's mighty generous of you all.
Thanks. No, maybe later. We better see Colonel Crook.
We better?
Yeah, we better.
Go ahead, Senator. Order me a whiskey. I'll be right with you. Figure you still have a score to settle, Wilson?
I'll settle it.
Listen, I hired your muscle and your gun for another reason.
No man drags me through the dust.
All right, you'll get your chance to get even, but not now. Right now, the last thing I want is...
Trouble, that's what this is gonna mean, Colonel.
Don't tell it to me, tell it to Washington. I've got my orders.
That mine, that old ghost town, is right in the middle of a Apache hunting ground. Game that was driven out during the boom is just starting to come back again.
I know that, Hondo.
And the Apaches won't take kindly to anybody trying to bring that ghost back to life.
That ghost is already back to life, Mr. Lane.
That's right. Blaine and Senator Knight bought the mine and the whole town.
The whole town? Hooey.
That makes it private property. And Washington has made it crystal clear that I'm to protect it with all of the resources at my command. An ex-senator still carries a lot of weight there.
Private property, huh? Well, I don't figure that the Apaches are gonna understand that.
They're gonna have to understand, Mr. Lane. We all take orders around here.
Oh, now look, fellas, ain't no need in getting head up over nothing.
You figure an Indian war is nothing, Buffalo?
No, it ain't that, Hondo. It's just that I figure it never will come to nothing like that. Why? Well, now, look, them fellas ain't gonna keep pouring money down a gopher hole without getting something out. And they ain't gonna get nothing out of there because there ain't no silver in that grubbed-out mine.
Well, now, how do you know that?
How do I know that? Look, Hondo, many's a time I've been in that hole trying to get just that much silver to help slack my thirst, and I never did get none because there ain't none there. No, sir. I give them fellas maybe 2 months and away they'll go. 2 months, huh? What do you think, Hondo?
Well, you can give them 2 months. I'll give them 2 months, too. You think the Apaches will?
I tell you, they are here again, Vitoro. Once more, the white man comes to take our land and drive away our hunting.
Mr. Blaine, it's an honor and a privilege to have you and the Senator, the Silver Knight of the West, interested in our territory.
Well, our interest is not entirely altruistic, Mr. Triblett.
No, I hope soon to be known as the Silver Knight for a more substantial reason than my hair.
Senator, do you really expect to find silver in old Surprise Number 1?
Why, we sincerely hope so, sir.
You did send geologists to make tests of the old mine.
Yes, we did. And on the basis of his report, we made a substantial investment in mining equipment, smelters, refineries.
Well, that sounds like some freighting.
Yes, we were going to talk to you about that.
Anytime, Mr. Blaine? Anytime.
Join us for supper.
My pleasure.
We'd like to freshen up a bit and rest before then. Shall we say 6 o'clock in my quarters?
6 o'clock, Senator.
Right.
What are you doing here?
Well, howdy, Mr. Blaine. I heard you was traveling a big company, teamed up with the Silver Knight of the West, the man who stands foursquare against sin, Satan, and shady dealing. I thought I'd kind of like to team up with the senator, too.
Who is this man, Blaine?
Well, it's nothing important, Senator. Why don't you go to your room and get a little rest? I'm sure you're tired after that long ride.
I'd like to know who this man is.
The name is Kelso, Senator. Gus Kelso. Well, I may be a little dusty, but that's because I've been doing the hard work for you fellas.
Now, you just let me take care of this man. There's no need for you to get involved.
It sounds as if I am involved. What work have you been doing for us?
Why, I arranged all the details in Mexico. Everything's set to roll.
I know that. You didn't have to come here to tell me.
But I did a good job. I figured I rated a bonus.
You thinking of blackmail, Kelso? How much?
Well, now, I'm not greedy. I don't expect nothing like you and the senator figure to make. $1,000 would do me nice.
$1,000? What does this man know or think he knows?
Oh, no, it's all right. I'm giving you this. I never want to see you around this fort again.
Right, Mr. Blaine. I'll just have one quick drink, and then I'll be on my way. Senator?
Now, look here, Blaine. When you offered me this proposition, I thought you wanted the prestige of my name. Oh, I knew it involved some fancy land speculations, but nothing that would make me a target for blackmail.
Now, you just relax, Senator. Your spotless reputation is not going to be tarnished.
You don't know what it means to devote 40 years to public service.
I know what it means. It means that after 40 years, your public has deserted you for a young man with a chest full of medals. It means that you've been put out to pasture for pennies. You had $432 in the bank when I met you. That's $10 a year for 40 years of honest public service. I know what it means.
I may be getting old, but I'm not senile yet. I'm getting out of this deal. I know what you're up to with that silver mine and those connections in Mexico. Why, I drafted that silver law in the Senate.
You bet you did. That's why you're not backing out. There isn't anybody in the country wouldn't believe you didn't mastermind this whole thing. Now, you just take it easy. You're not going to get your hands dirty. I'll handle it. You just sit on your reputation and polish that lily-white image of yours.
That man Kelso will want more money, and he's the kind who talks.
Well, we're never going to hear from Kelso again. I promise you.
I think I need a drink.
Hey, bartender, bring me another bottle. Drinks for everybody on me. And you keep pouring it until this is all used up.
Gonna get me a skin full of that.
You do that, old timer. Because when that's gone, there's plenty more where it came from. Come on, drink up now. Here, give me yours. There you go. Come on, you don't want to drink that. My invitation included you too, friend. That's it, old timer. Music. That's right. Hey, make it Mexican. I've got a big fondness for Mexico.
Them Mexican senoritas is something, ain't they?
Don't tell me you can still remember, old timer.
Man, I ain't that old.
I tell you, Kelso, I ain't seen you in a month of Sunday.
Come on, have a drink. I'm buying for everybody.
You're buying? Say, you must have found a mother lode, huh?
No, thanks. Not for me.
Oh, mister, I said everybody's drinking with me.
Gus.
Look, I just don't feel like it. Thanks anyway.
Well, no, I didn't ask how you felt. I said to have a drink. Are you going to have a drink, mister, or try being a hero?
Well, a man with too many drinks and a cocked gun isn't anything to get heroic about. Mister's drunk or sober, don't prod me again.
You know, Buffalo, I like your sidekick.
Well, if you like living, you won't try no more tricks like that.
Well, all I was trying to do was to buy the man a drink. Come on, let's get down to some serious drinking.
That suits
Come on,
me.
everybody. Everybody, drink up. Everybody. That's providing, of course, you want to. And this time I'm asking, not telling you.
Yeah, I'd like one.
Good.
A beer.
Bartender, give the man a beer.
One beer coming up.
Here you go. Take it out of that.
Hey, Gus.
Huh?
You positively grass-bellied with spot cash there.
Oh, I never intend to be without it again.
You must have hit that old cloud with a silver lining, huh?
You know, Buffalo, that's just what I did. I found that cloud with a silver lining. Come on, everybody, drink up. Come on, let's go. That's about time I had one, I think. Here's luck to you.
That man that tangled with Lane in there, he'll be leaving the fort pretty soon.
Yeah?
Well, he's got a big mouth. Shut it. He's also got some of my money. Get it back.
Come on, Sam.
Rum-tum, put-tum, rum-tum, oh, I found me a little cloud. The cloud has a silver lining.
What are we looking for here, anyway?
A silver lining, if there is one.
Well, there sure ain't no silver lining in that hole.
I guess not.
Is there something else tickling your curiosity?
Well, I thought they might be salting it.
Who, Blaine and the senator? Oh, no, Hondo. Them fellas is big money mucks. They wouldn't go around putting salt in a...
It looks like we got company. Toro?
My braves tell me that the white man plans to return to this place. Is that true, my son?
Oh, I wouldn't say that was true.
It's true.
This place once before brought much trouble to our peoples. Does the white man seek the silver medal again?
Well, they ain't gonna find it, not this time.
Whether he does or not, it is bad. You know this land gives our people food. If the white man returns, the deer and other game will leave, and my braves will beat the war drums.
You can't let them spill blood over nothing.
Nothing.
White man won't find any silver. You've got to hold your braves in check.
How long?
I'd say no longer than 2 moons.
Your word has always been true, my son. I will hold my warriors for 2 moons. But if the silver medal is found, I cannot say what will be.
Indian trouble. Lifted his scalp clean off.
More Indian trouble. I warn you, this territory's never going to be worth anything until you herd up those Apaches, put them in reservations, and keep them there.
You're right.
Here we've got 2 men, like Senator Knight and Martin Blaine, ready to invest in the country, help us to grow. What are they greeted with? This.
You're right.
Well, Colonel, what do you presume to do about this? It's your duty as commanding
Don't
officer.
tell me my duty, Mr. Tribolette. Washington does that. They charged me with preserving the peace and order of this territory. That's what I'll try to do. Captain Richards?
Sir?
Take a patrol. 2 days' rations and ammunition. Right out to where they found the body and try to pick up the trail from there.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry you had to see something like that. Senator, I assure you it's not an everyday occurrence.
Blaine? They just brought in the body of that fella Kelso.
Oh, yeah, I heard something about him being killed. It's too bad.
When he left here, you said we'd never see him again. Did you have him killed?
I understood it was Indians that killed him. Now, right, Chad?
Yeah, they scalped him. Took the top of his head off just like a hard-boiled egg.
You know, your nerves are on the raw edge. Why don't we sit down and just talk about mining? It'll ease your mind.
Oh, I almost forgot the money. Most of it's there.
Oh, thank you, Chad. You made a good deal on that equipment.
Yeah.
That's the money you gave Kelso, isn't it?
Senator, why don't we just sit down?
So you did have it done. By that fellow Wilson.
Look, you ought to just be glad that Kelso isn't around to talk.
They're sending troopers out there to investigate. Suppose they get a lead on Wilson.
Well, let's hope they don't, for Wilson's sake.
Oh, so you'd killed him, too. And then me. At what point do you destroy me, Blaine?
The only thing that'll destroy you, Senator, is your weak spine and your queasy stomach.
Blackmail and now murder.
How do you think these deals get put together? Flowery speeches to the people, filibusters to the Senate, kissing babies, patting dogs?
I don't care to hear. I'm getting out right now.
Getting out? Senator, you're the only one that's not going to get out of this. Now, you pulled all those wires in Washington. Your name is on all those documents. Why, they even named that ghost town after you. Silver Knight. You're it.
Kelso's horse.
Tracks come from back that way.
This is where we found Kelso, Captain. What are you doing here, Mr. Baker?
Well, we found Kelso's horse back up their ways and back-trailed him right to here.
Sergeant found Kelso. Dead. Scalped by Indians.
Just say scalp, Sergeant, not by Indians.
I saw the body, Mr. Lane. It looked like Indians to me.
Well, I never knew an Apache that would throw away his scalp. Let a horse like that get away. The scalp is in this brush.
Check it, Sergeant.
Yes.
It's here, sir. You think it was a white man, Mr. Lane?
Yeah, I sure do.
Hey, Cap, that money, you know the big roll of bills that Kelso was flashing around? Did he have that on him when you found him?
There was no money on him.
Ah, that's why he was killed.
Yeah, maybe, or for that silver lining that he never found.
Well, Senator, in your honor.
Oh, I really must decline the honor, Mr. Tribolette. This town should be named after some important local personage.
Oh, you're much too modest, Senator. One of these days, your grandchildren are going to be pointing out your name on the map.
No, I really must decline. I really had very little to do with all of this.
Well, you had everything to do with it. Modesty is not very becoming in a politician.
Thank you. I'm most grateful.
When do you think you'll be sending Silver out, Mr. Blaine?
Well, who knows, Mr. Tribolette? It's all a gamble.
Well, let's get moving.
It begins, Sam. Yeah, it begins.
We have 2 or 3 more shipments of equipment to be picked up at the freight station in Mescalero, Mr. Tribolette.
Happy to deliver them for you, Mr. Blaine.
Fine.
By the way, I've been checking the title on the property and the mining claims around here.
Yeah?
You and the senator own most or all of them.
That's right. We want to make a profit in every way we can. If we can get some more silver out of that old mine.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't?
We're going to be stuck with an awful lot of land.
Well, I'd sort of like to take the chance of being stuck with some of it myself. How would you like to trade some land for my freighting service?
You've got a deal.
Sorry to start you. Some men get silver fever and they don't care who or what they run over.
Whoa. Afternoon, Mr. Lane. That's a mighty thoughtful gesture, repairing that grave.
Arizona's not big enough for some people to drive a wagon through, I guess.
Well, a lot of traffic coming to and from the mine nowadays. Some of the drivers get careless. But who could be buried out here in this lonesome, godforsaken place?
Well, she's an Indian woman.
Couldn't have been anybody very important.
You're talking about my wife, mister.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Lane. I apologize. I know how you feel. I lost my wife early, too. She was from a different world than mine, like yours. A bright little Irish immigrant girl. Too pretty to take in washing and scrub floors the way she did. But I was just a laborer in the coal mines in those days. She did it to help me get ahead. She really had faith in me. I wonder if it was justified.
I'd say it was, Senator.
Thank you, sir. Well, I guess I'll drive on into town. Sorry I intruded.
I declare. How long did you say it's been?
Oh, no longer than 4 weeks.
Well, I never seen nothing grow like this in all my life. I bet you there's lots of loose cash floating around.
I wonder how much of it is silver.
And gentlemen, with the entire issue hanging on one vote, I rose and addressed the Senate. I said, we must invest in the West, because in the West lies our future, the future of this great nation.
Hondo, Buffalo!
Hi there, Willie. You want a drink, old boy?
I can buy you fellas one. I'm working again. Drinks for my friends.
I heard you got a job at the mine, huh?
Yep.
They strike any pay dirt yet?
Oh, sure, they're finding silver. About 1 ounce to a ton. Ain't enough to fill a midget's pocket.
Oh, they can't stay in business very long at that rate.
You know, they don't seem to mind none. They just keep a digging and pushing it into the smelter building. Just a digging and a pushing. But you know something? They ain't no one allowed in that building except Blaine's men.
What's the big secret?
They got some newfangled way of extracting silver, they say, but I ain't seen 1 ounce of pure silver.
Well, maybe you can explain it, Senator.
Well, Mr. Lane, a good deal of money is being made around here by a good many people.
Well, if they're not mining any silver, how are they making money?
That's not an uncommon phenomenon, Mr. Lane. The bankers call it artificial stimulation of trade and monetary exchange. Stockbrokers call it buying on margin. Massive turnover.
Say it a little clearer than that.
Well, yes, I will, Mr. Lane. Put very simply, it means buying and selling. All the way down the line, just buying and selling.
Senator. Senator, I've been looking all over for you. We need you right away for a very important legal matter. That's enough of that. We'll celebrate later. Come on. Keep clear heads on this operation. Now, you stay out of that saloon and away from the bottle.
Now, look here, Blaine. I'm not a child.
You're worse than that. You're an old man. You're washed up. You're scared stiff. Look at your spine on a bottle. You need a keeper.
Thank you for coming so quickly when I sent for you, my son. It's almost 2 moons now since we talked last, and the white man is still here. My warriors grow impatient to wipe out the town that scars our land.
You gotta hold him back a little longer.
How much longer? More and more men pour in to push the Apache off his hunting grounds.
A little stop, that town will fade right out.
Even if the silver metal is found?
It won't be found. You've got my word on that.
Your word has always been good, my son. I hope it still is.
I'll go see Colonel Crook, see if he can hurry things up a little bit. Well, Colonel, I think that whole town is a fake.
You don't think Knight and Blaine really expect to find any silver, huh?
Well, they ain't gonna get rich on ore that's only yielding an ounce of silver to a ton.
They're making money selling land and played out mining claims. That's why they keep pretending to work that mine, just to keep the fever going.
That's the only reason, huh?
Yeah, I think Kelso knew that, and I think that's why they put a bullet in him to keep him from talking.
Oh, now you're also accusing Mr. Blaine and Senator Knight of murder.
Well, it fits, Colonel, tight as an old maid's corset.
Brilliant work, gentlemen. Only you're as wrong as a $3 bill. This is a letter from Mr. Blaine and Senator Knight, requesting an army escort with scouts. Now, that'll be you two.
Well, what do they want an army escort for?
Well, now, this may come as a shock, but they want the escort to protect the first shipment of bullion from the Silver Knight to the stage depot at Mescalero.
Silver bullion?
Mm-hmm. 25,000 ounces, which at the United States Treasury price of $3 an ounce comes to
$75,000. The first, but only the first shipment of bullion out of the Silver Knight. My friends, a new day is dawning for this territory. Who knows? We may yet become a state in this glorious union of ours.
And when we do, you'll be our first governor. Roll out. Very nice, Senator. See, everything worked out all right, didn't it?
Funny thing about growing old, Martin. You get a little short of breath, heart skips a beat now and then, body gets a little weaker. That conscience gets stronger all the time.
Well, that's it, Mr. Horton. Mr. Blaine gave me this receipt for you to sign for the Treasury Department.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. In fact, I'll be going back with you.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. The Secretary of Treasury wants me to present a draft and a letter of commendation to the senator personally. They were old friends in Washington.
Well, we weren't going straight back. We got to make a detour to pick up some more timbers for shoring in the mine.
Oh?
Well, you're welcome right back with us, Mr. Horton.
Well, thank you.
That is, unless you need a guard for those timbers.
We'll manage.
All right. Buffalo, you mind riding back with that patrol? I want to follow Wilson.
What for?
Well, I'm kind of curious about those timbers he's supposed to be picking up.
That curiosity can get a feller killed.
That's a cat, isn't it? Well, we're getting pretty close to Mexico, Sam. What do you think about that, going to Mexico? Might be we don't have to go there. It's a bad place to make camp, unless they're waiting for somebody. You want to wait too, Sam? All right, we wait. Come on, Sam.
My braves tell me you speak false, my son.
I told you the truth.
The silver metal has been found, much silver. Now there will be many white men coming to this land.
Well, they don't get it from the mine.
Look down there. You see it? There is a wagon there and men riding with it.
Well, they get that silver from Mexico, and they take it to the mine.
Why?
Well, give me some of your braves and we'll find out.
We will help.
All right.
What is this, Lane?
You're going to answer some questions.
Yeah, like what?
Like why you're taking that silver to the mine. I figure you might be able to tell me what white man scalped Kelso. Let her stay with that silver. I'll go get him.
Some talk.
First, a vote of thanks thanks for the man who made all this possible, the Silver Knight of the West. It's indeed fitting that Senator Knight should be honored here today for his part in the resurrection of this ghost town and for putting us in a position to profit from his keen mind and deep faith. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Horton from the Treasury Department, who will make the first payment for the bullion shipped from the Silver Knight.
Senator, it is my great pleasure to present to you this draft of $75,000 for the silver mined here.
Mr. Horton? No need to pay that much. I'll sell you the same amount for $15,000. It's coming in on those wagons right over there.
Mr. Lane, what's the meaning of this?
Do you want to explain that, Mr. Blaine? Or you, Senator?
Hondo, you started something. Finish it.
Well, that silver was supposed to have been mined in the Silver Knight mine, but it was mined in Mexico and brought here by a fellow named Wilson who works with these men.
Mined in Mexico? Is that right, Mr. Blaine? Senator?
Of course not. Where's Wilson?
Right over there. You want him to tell you the same thing he told us?
Well, it's a lie. There's not a word of truth to it. You all know Senator Knight, his reputation.
It's all the truth.
Just as Mr. Lane says.
It's a shabby scheme, and I regret to say that my name is indelibly stamped on it.
What scheme, Senator?
Shut up, Alden. There isn't a thing in the world they can prove about this.
You're right, Mr. Lane. You can buy silver in Mexico or anywhere in the world for 50 cents an ounce. But by law,